So my guest today on Two's Company is known to millions of football fans across Britain and of course Europe. Now he is the longest standing referee in the Premier League, taking charge of 553 matches over 22 years. Retiring from the on-pitch game in 2022, keeping me company today on Campusol TV is Mike Dean. Hi Mike.
Afternoon, Caroline, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. What about you?
Yeah, good. Enjoying myself.
Yeah, good.
Enjoying the sunshine as always.
It's a little bit warm at the moment, but yeah, we're going to ask you loads and loads of questions today. Now, I have to confess to all the people out there that I don't do football. It's not because I don't like it or anything, it's just because I've never been brought up with football. So I don't know a great lot of things about football, but I'm hoping that you can help me out and tell me a little bit about. Yeah. So first of all, what I want to know is, why did you move to Campusol?
Yeah, I think we had a place in Turkey for about 10 years and we sold that in 2016 and we ended up coming over and living on Condado, which is just up the road, for 4 years. Then my wife was getting ready to retire and said, I don't want to live on there, I want my own villa, my own pool, do my own thing. So we had a little look around and obviously we moved down here and just as COVID kicked in, we kind of sold our place on Condado, I think on the March, and obviously the week after we couldn't travel out, so we were like 3 or 4 months waiting to come out to do all the paperwork and finish it all off. So we ended up moving over in the end, probably summer of 2020, right in the middle of COVID.
Yeah. So why this area of Spain? I mean, because obviously you went to Condado first.
Yeah, well, we looked all around, obviously, but I think because I play golf, my wife plays golf, and then I think being on the complex at Condado had a golf course there, and obviously we moved down, which is not that far away anyway. We travel back up there every week and still play there anyway, so it's just a good community around here as well. I know a lot of people now, a lot of expats out here, and the people that I know actually live out here that didn't know have moved over from the UK, which is good as well. Right,
okay. So you've actually retired from being a playing referee in matches now. So how long ago was that?
Retired 2022, and then I carried on doing the dreaded VAR that nobody likes with the TV stuff for 6 months. I'd done a bit of coaching then, and then I was lucky enough I got approached by Sky Television to go on their popular Saturday afternoon show, Soccer Saturday. So I've been on there for 2 years, and I've just signed another 2-year contract now to take me through to 2027, which I'm quite thrilled about.
So that's on every Saturday?
Every Saturday afternoon.
On what channel?
It's on Sky Sports News and Sky Sports main events, so between 12 and 6 o'clock, and then I do 30 Saturdays, and I also do commentary on Sunday afternoon. So when the games are live at 4:30, 5:30 over in Spain, like Man United, Manchester City, I sometimes go to the commentary box with the commentators, and if something happens during the game, like a refereeing point of view, the players and spectators at home want to know what the main reason is, why the referee's made the decision, I then come on live and explain what the decision is.
Okay. Yeah. So before we go into any other questions, first of all, what did you think of the game of the England players, the ladies' England?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I didn't watch all of it, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. I watched the knockout phase, a few of the highlights of that, and they played it well. They were quite lucky with the penalty shootout in the previous round, but obviously, I think everybody watched the game on Sunday night, and it wasn't the best of games, but obviously the right result in the end, which certainly they went and won.
Which is what we wanted as you know, people that come from the UK.
Yeah, they went and retained the trophy, which is great. So not often it's been done before, I don't think. So it's really good for everybody. Fabulous. It's good for sport back home as well. Yeah.
Well, I have to say I watched that, and that's probably the second football match that I've ever watched in my life all the way through, and I was screaming at the telly at some points, and my husband was sort of like saying, I can't believe that you're doing this, you know, but I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was in one of the bars watching it, and there was more. I think if there had been obviously a men's final, there'd been more men. There was more women actually in the bar watching the football. They're probably not used to watching football, but because it was England, and they came out with their friends, there must be 40, 50 people in there watching. Most of them were all ladies as well, which is good.
Yeah, good. So obviously the ladies' football is getting more popular, isn't it now? Yeah. And I saw on the news this morning that they were promoting younger girls to join football teams and things, because it's always been boys, hasn't it?
It's always been boys, but it kind of took off for 4 or 5 years when they had the Women's Premier League back in the UK. But obviously now it's expanding more, and I think that a lot of the teams now are playing their main games in the main stadiums, whereas before they were playing like a little League One or League Two smaller clubs with like 2,000 or 3,000 people. But I think Arsenal, have sold 15,000, 20,000 season tickets next year. So it is getting popular, and there's more women go to watch it. I watch it now and again when I'm back home. Especially I've done a bit of coaching back home with referees, so I've been watching some of that stuff back home. So, but it is good. It is getting popular. It's just going to get better, especially if they keep being successful all the time as well.
So a question from me, from a woman's point of view: do you think that the ladies' teams are less? They don't sort of like kick one another. They don't, you know, if there's a scuffle and, you know, one of them falls on the floor, they pull them back up again, give them a pat on the back, and off they go. Very different to the way that fellas are.
It's a little bit different as well, I think, but I think that the women's have their own things in their game. There is things in the women's game, it's exactly the same with things in the men's game.
Yeah.
I think it's just looked a little bit different at the moment because it's still evolving, still developing in the women's game. So 5 or 10 years' time, it's a lot more physical. And obviously, you go back again 3 or 4 years where the women were a lot more, they weren't full time, so they weren't as strong as they were before. But now they're getting bigger in stature as well. Obviously, physiques are a lot better, they're a lot stronger.
Yeah.
You know, the whole body's bigger now and strong as well. So it's obviously going to be just the right way forward for everybody to keep moving forward. Yeah.
So going back to you now. So when did you know that that was what you wanted to do? You wanted to become a referee.
It's just something. I think 1985 was when I started. I was like, I finished school, I put on loads of weight, didn't work for like 6 months. I was only a goalkeeper anyway, but I thought to myself, I need to do something to keep fit. And one of my local friends back home, Joe Coleman, he was a referee. And he said, why don't you just take the referee's course? I said, I don't want to do that anyway.
Yeah.
I'd done the course, but it was pretty straightforward, the course really. And I just got back into refereeing, or started refereeing when I was 17. I used to watch Tranmere Rovers all the time, home and away, week in, week out. So obviously, if you want to get promoted from a refereeing point of view, you have to referee on a Saturday, which I didn't, because obviously I was watching Tranmere. So I ended up then not watching Tranmere from probably 95 onwards, and then focus more on my refereeing, because someone said, look, you've got a chance of making it as a referee if you want to do it just at a local level or a bit higher to non-league stuff. But then when I started doing it more focused on it on a Saturday, I kind of one thing led to another. So I kind of went from like 93 to doing nothing to 1995. I actually got to the Football League line, so which is like it was really, really quick at the time. So and then again, one thing just evolves from the other. And I know you've got to have a bit of luck on your way. Yeah, without being big-headed, you've got a bit of know what you're doing. You've got to be confident in what you're doing. You've got to know the laws of the game, etc. You've got to keep yourself fit. But you do need a bit of luck as well on the way. So you know you can get assessed by you get assessed 2 or 3 times a season and have great games, but the rest of the season you could be rubbish, or vice versa. So when you're getting assessed, if those games don't go well, you're not going to get promoted, you see. So but yeah, it just evolved from there. So it just one thing led to another, thankfully. So it was good. Brilliant. Good decision I made.
Now going back to the England match with the ladies, I didn't realise until I watched that how fit the referees have to be, because they're running backwards and forwards like the players are. So that was something that you had to do. You had to keep yourself fit as well.
Yeah, we used to have like a training program emailed to us every Monday, and we had to follow that regime all the way through for that week for our game the following weekend. So everybody gets their own separate plan. So it's not just me doing the same as all the other referees or the other assistant referees. If I had a game on a Saturday, my plan would be strategically planned for the Saturday. If guys had a Sunday, theirs would be planned for the Sunday. So, and we just had to do it and download the watches download the data on the watches to the fitness guys. If we weren't doing the fitness program, we would be taken off the game. So it was pretty strict.
Yeah, so it's very, very strict. And do you still keep up your fitness now?
I don't do any running now, but I do a lot of walking. I probably do 9 or 10k every morning here when I wake up. Yeah, just something to do, just keep myself going. Otherwise I just end up.
And it's a wonderful place to go out and walk.
It is, it's great. I mean, when I finished refereeing in 2022, I kind of didn't train for the first time for probably 30 years. I was out here for probably 3 months, and I put on loads of weight, which you do, because you're not doing nothing. You're drinking and eating, and you're socialising a lot more. But I just come a time, I think at Christmas last year, I just right, that's me done. I ended up losing 2.5 stone, which was pretty good. So just got to try and keep it off, though, which is it can be hard over here. You just got to keep yourself disciplined.
It's hard over here because you socialise an awful lot, isn't it?
It's discipline. It's like when I was refereeing, I had to be disciplined when I was refereeing. I never used to drink when I was at home when I was refereeing. But obviously, if I came here or games or went on holiday somewhere else in the world, I'd have a few drinks, which everybody does, you know.
Yes, so. So, what year was it when somebody snapped you up and said, right, we want you to do the Premier League? Is that the right word?
Yeah. I mean, I got on the Football League referees list in 1997. Again, I was quite young. I was only, I think 28, 29 then. And I'd done 20, 30 games, and someone said, you've got a chance to get on the Premier League. And I thought, crikey, that's a bit of a surprise. I didn't expect it to be that quick. And then the Premier League referees went full-time in 2000 as a professional job. So I was working full-time anyway, and refereeing was only part-time. And then they said to me in 2000, look, we wanted to come along in the Premier League and join the group. There was 25 of us at the time. We went full-time in 2000. So and being full-time referee for 22 years,
Yeah.
which is great. So it's one of them things where people say, it's a bit like golfers and cricketers and snooker players. You play it as a hobby, and all of a sudden somebody says, well, you've got a chance to do this as your job. So I'm getting paid. I was getting paid for doing my hobby. So it's just a no-brainer when I was to go full-time.
Same with me with my singing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just something that I did as a hobby. You know, when I first started out, and then I do it. I get paid.
Good,
and I love what I do.
Yeah, agree.
So you get paid
exactly
for
the same.
when you enjoy your job. It's a bonus, isn't it?
It's a lot better than getting up in the morning, with no disrespect to people that do it at 9 o'clock and working 9 to 5 in an office, hating the job, but they have to do it because it's
and
a
I know
job.
people that have done that, and it, you know, that must be terrible for them.
Yeah.
So, what was your first Premier League football match?
It was 2000 August. It was Leicester City against Southampton. So I mean, I had everybody there. My mum was there. My dad had passed away by then, unfortunately. My dad, so he never seen me referee in the Premier. My mum was there. My wife was there. Kids were there. Family and friends were there. So it was just an absolute buzz. And it was just.
Was you nervous though?
Oh, I was back in nerves, because obviously I was young. I was probably one of the youngest referees that had got on. And you know, I was trusted in like the first weekend of the season to referee Leicester and Southampton. So it was just an absolute dream to referee the Premier, walk out in front of 25,000-30,000 people. And the game for me, it went absolutely smoothly, which doesn't happen very often. So,
brilliant. Yeah. So obviously it went from there and onwards and upwards. So regarding Premier League football players. Have you got any stories that you can share with us that you're allowed to share?
No, it's funny, people say
you
that.
don't have to name them.
No,
but,
people say that, but I don't do a lot of like story things, because people, when I do like a Q&A thing with people, they all try to like want some dirt off players, but I don't really do stories and conversations about people. And obviously I've refereed some of the best players in the world, so you know, like to David Beckham, Lionel Messi, you know, you know, and people like that, Thierry Henry, all the big name players I've refereed. So, and there is just some good players out there that you know you think so. You wouldn't want any dirt on it, if you know what I mean, because it doesn't spoil it. But
no, I'm not asking for dirt.
No, I don't mean that.
Things
in
like
that way.
funny stories.
I haven't got a lot, to be fair. No, I don't, because when I finish my game, I kind of go home and don't get involved with like the other stuff that goes on. So I just switch.
So you don't go back with the players or with the winning team or anything like that.
So what used to happen years ago, we used to drive ourselves to the stadium and then drive home afterwards. You might stay for a drink if you could. But there's a few problems many years ago with the game in London, where as a referee drove out the stadium, his car got attacked, so we kind of then had to we all get taken in, meet at a hotel the night before, and we were driven in by people carrying driven home. So we would just stay away from everybody, really. So it's just the best way to be, best way to do it.
I should imagine so. Yeah. So do you, up until 2022, did you still get nervous before games, or
a little bit? Probably only just when I'm in the tunnel walking out, you know, because obviously the build up towards that, again, without being big-headed, I've done it for 25 years, and you kind of get used to what goes on. You get used to the occasion, you get used to the crowd. It's only when you walk in the tunnel and the players start standing up behind you, and there's 5 or 6 minutes before you walk out. That's when I really got the adrenaline pumping. Once you get out there and you blow your whistle, it's just another game of football. You've just got to be focused on what you're doing. It's like any profession, doesn't matter what you do, even yourself, until you sing your first song. You do build up, your nerves will get built up. I was saying with refereeing, once you blow your first word and make your first decision, it's dead easy then. You're probably the same with what you do. Once you get your first one out of the way, it's a lot easier. It is a lot easier.
Definitely. So what's one of the things that fans often misunderstand about referees, do you think?
I think a lot of fans think that we don't care about the job, especially when I was involved, when I was refereeing. Think that we do the job, we make a mistake, we go home and we don't care about it, you know. But we don't. And people think that, you know, we go home and we just sit there and think, oh, we made a mistake, who cares? But we do worry, because it's on the TV all the time. We speak to our other colleagues on the way home. We talk to them all the time about what our game's gone. Our game's gone. They'll watch my game on the TV and give me some feedback on that, and vice versa. I think also as well, I think if referees came out and spoke to the TV more, because obviously they're not allowed to do it at the moment, but they haven't been since I was on. Whether it will change in the future, I don't know. I know next year the referees are going to communicate more on the pitch by talking to spectators in the stand when they make a decision. But I think sometimes referees can come out and maybe explain the decisions on the television to the TV of a night time, so the people know what they've done.
So I've made this decision because.
Yeah, that's why. And that's what's going to happen for the next year when they're on the field to play. The referees are going to announce that to the stadiums. But I think we could make it a little bit easier from our point of view as match officials and referees to say that this is why I've made the decision, this is the process we went down, we've now looked at it, and yes, it's a mistake, and we know we can't change it, which you can't, so it's just one of them things.
Have you ever made a decision that hasn't gone down well with the fans to the point where you've been a little bit afraid for your own safety after the match?
I've made loads of decisions where I know I've made a mistake as soon as I've made it. After the match, I would say no. I had one game a couple of years ago at Fulham and West Ham where I sent a player off, and I look at it again. I think I shouldn't have. It was a wrong decision by me. And then when I was driving home, it's not my safety. It was more for my family because obviously I had death threats, so I kind of stepped away from the game. Yeah, I stepped away from the game for like a month.
Scary.
My daughter was getting things on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, and we had people driving up the road, seeing where the houses were. We had police patrol and that kind of stuff. So that's the only thing. Wouldn't say you worry for your safety. It's more like I can probably handle all the rubbish that I get.
Yeah, but it's your family.
Because when it starts affecting them,
yes.
And it's obviously affected other referees since then with games abroad, with other games in Europe with English officials. But it's just one of them things where it shouldn't happen.
No.
And luckily it doesn't happen that often. But when it does worry that. Again, it doesn't worry me. But when it involves my wife and family and grandkids and things, that's when it does worry.
Because people do take football very, very seriously.
And especially now with social media and things like that, because you can go on Facebook, Instagram, all kinds of stuff now, Twitter, and just say, right, post that in, and it'll find its way to where they want it to go, because people know what to do.
Yeah. So on a similar thing then, when you've been on pitch and you've had to make these decisions, obviously you've got to be the strong one, because I should imagine there's a few difficult players out there that are arguing.
One or two.
Yeah. I should imagine they can give it right back to you.
It is, but it's just one of them things where you make a decision. Honestly, if you made a mistake, you made a mistake, and players are going to give you stick all the time. And I've given players.
Well, that's what you're there for.
I know, and I've given players stick back, and they say, and then give another 5 minutes, and when you walk past them and say sorry about that, and they say, that's fine, you just move on. So it's.
Has any of them ever sort of like given you any stick once you've got back? Off the pitch.
Oh yeah, we used to get loads of time, especially in the tunnel at half time and full time. And it's good sometimes when you go off there, because it's a bit different now because there's TV cameras ever in the tunnel at half time and full time. Whereas 10 years ago, if someone's giving you stick in the tunnel, you could probably give enough as good as you get really. Nobody would know, but you can't do it now because, I say, with public eye, everybody's in it now. So
and the thing is, it's not just the players; it's the managers as well, isn't it?
Managers can be hard. Some can be good, some can be bad. What you've got to remember as well, one manager thinks every decision's right and the other one thinks it's wrong, so you're never going to please everybody. It's just so hard to do. It's such a tough job.
It's just one of those things. It must be very, very tough.
It was.
Yeah.
It still is for the guys doing it now, but it's a job that, I love doing it, so I'll never change. Whatever I've done over 25 years, I've never changed anything. Nothing at all. Nothing.
Yeah. So do you miss the refereeing?
I miss the banter with the lads, because obviously we used to meet every 2 weeks and train together and stuff, and I still speak to the majority of the guys, but obviously some guys have also retired since they moved on to coaching roles. But I miss the banter with the lads, I miss training with the lads, I miss the end of season dues we used to have. I mean, I still have 4 or 5 of the guys come over now and play golf here, which is great for them. But I miss the crack with them, but I don't miss the refereeing itself. I don't miss the pressure of the TV, the pressure of the social, well, especially the media and the TV now. So it's just really, really bad now. It's not an environment I want to referee anymore. And I know now, watching some of the referees now who are refereeing when I was on, I can tell they don't like sometimes the job they're doing, because they just look under pressure too much. They can't enjoy themselves or express themselves the way it used to be when I was on.
So do you ever watch a match and watch the referee and think, he's just made the wrong decision?
It's impossible not to. Even when I support Tranmere back home, and even when I go and watch Tranmere with my daughter, I'm saying that's a foul. She shouts, "Dad, have a day off." But you just can't, because you're always critiquing something. You're always trying to say, that's wrong, he should be there, he should be stood there, that's a corner. But it's just, I'm
no different, I must
admit. It is, it's just so hard to go and watch a football match. Even I'm watching TV now, even the other night watching the women's game, I was saying, that's a foul, and I'm just talking my way through, which is pretty sad really, but that's just how it is. So.
No, I understand that. If I go out and watch somebody that I've not seen before, and let's just say, that they might be a little bit flat. Michael said to me, make your mouth stop doing it, because if somebody goes a little bit flat, I go, and he goes, stop doing that with your face, and I can't help it, but it's just
hard. It's hard. It is hard.
It's just something that's just in there. But it sounds like you've had a very, very interesting life.
Yeah, I mean, I'd never changed. I said before, when I'd done it as a hobby before, and I was still refereeing. I used to work in a poultry factory. We used to kill chickens for a living, believe it or not. So I used to do that full time and then referee part time. Wow. And I said before, someone says, do you want to go and be a full-time referee, and you're getting paid for doing your hobby, and it's just a no-brainer to do it. And obviously we got paid quite well, which was really
Yeah.
good. And, you know, we had all kind of fitness stuff that was doing, so it was probably the best decision ever made, to be
Yeah,
fair.
yeah, brilliant. So obviously you're doing the Sky thing, but the rest of your future now, what is it? A bit of chilling?
A little bit, yeah. So my wife's out here full time now anyway, so she's out here, but I think it's second year now she's been full time. So I kind of go home. I'll spend a week out here Monday to Friday, go home Friday. I'll stay at home the following week, and then I'll come out the week after. I'll probably do 10 days a month and see her every other week. And she'll come home as well in between to see family now and again. But in the long run, I'd like to move out here full time. That's pretty obvious. But obviously, while Sky still want me, and Sky still want me as a job, and they still pay me, and they want me to give my expertise view. I'll do it. So another 2 years minimum before I think about coming out. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, it's been absolutely fantastic talking to you. I'm learning a little bit about football as well.
Likewise with the singing as well, yeah.
Because I know nothing. Maybe I'll get into football a little bit more now that I've seen the women's game. And I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really, really did.
Yeah, it was good.
So thank you very much
Pleasure.
for being with me today and telling me about all your stories and your life and how you got into football.
Good, enjoyed it.
So, and thank you very much to you out there as well for watching Two's Company today. Now we're back at the same time next week in someone else's company, and I hope that you can join us. So I'll say ta-ra from me, Carolyn May. Thank you very much for watching, and Mike, thank you very, very much once again.